Creation Evaluation Station. On this episode, we are going to be evaluating. Wait for it, it's big. Bring it all the way back. Yes, it is Ninjago Season 15. We've started the new season. The Crystal King Temple. And I'm doing this one first because it's my least favorite. Not because I think it's going to be a bad set. It just doesn't have any vehicles or any creatures in it. Except I think there's a little, there's a little creature right here that's buildable. But other than that, that's why it's my least favorite. But that doesn't mean it's going to be bad either. It still looks pretty cool. And it's got all 4 of the original ninjas in it, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have any of those special golden ninjas in it, or whatever the special ninjas are called. I said I don't follow the show, but I've been excited for these sets anyways. So, before I get any further, I'm letting my excitement get away. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I do discussions and reviews of other creative works such as movies, cartoons, and video games. So, because these are in-depth reviews, they tend to be on the long side, and there are timestamps down below here and also in the description that you can use to skip around to your favorite part or as a bookmark to come back when you have more time to watch. I go through everything, the parts, what's just inside the box. We look at, all that stuff. And then I also do a general close-up review looking at the set. And then my final thoughts at the end. Like I said, you can skip around, you can move around using these. If you're on a computer, I don't know about too much using other platforms. If you're on a computer and you click on the red bar here, you actually get a list of the timestamps along the side here. Which is really nice. But yeah, so let's get down to the details here. It is set number 71771. A lot of 7s and a couple of 1s. It's for ages 8 and up, and has 703 pieces. Retails for $7.99 on the Lego website. I didn't check to see if it was in stock, but it's a brand new set. If it's out of stock, they'll be probably stocking it real soon. And it was released just this summer of 2022. August 1st to be exact. Let's take a closer look there. Longer look at the front and the back. It's a nice big picture of the top of that tower. And then some of the details in the bottom there. Yeah. I'm excited to get putting these sets together. So, let's get to it. Here we have the contents of the box. Got the nice thick instruction booklet. It's lengthwise, but it's magazine sized. It's got wrapped in plastic with the stickers inside. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stickers. Not too many. Getting onto the bags here, we have bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, bag 6, but there's a little bit more. The 7th bag that's unlabeled that has all sorts of golden weapons in it. So we got plenty of gold weapons. Here we have the contents of the first box. Good old brick separator, of course. Some large plates to get us started. Some window pieces. These are a bit interesting. I've seen them before. It's not too amazing, but definitely interesting. See how they're being used in this set. Always. Got some purple tiles. And I threw in the gold weapons so we can take a closer look at them right now. There's some kind of gold daggers, I guess. Like some interesting things. Some new throwing stars. Well, much larger than the old ones. purple piece there. Some of these clear pieces designed for, you know, giving the appearance of jumping in the air, whatnot. We got these purple transparent pieces. Get used to this color. There's quite a lot in here. We have Zane and Kai in here, and some swords for them. That's bag one. Good assortment of parts. Here we have the contents of bag two. Got a lot more interesting pieces here. Another window, a couple windows, but we have this big thing. It's a new part. That beautiful trans pinkish purple color. Some bat wings. It's actually an older part. And we got more trans parts here. Including some more of this trans clear pieces. And Jay is in this set. Got this kind of weird piece. Yeah. That's bag two. Here is the contents of bag three. Got some big plates to start off with. Lots of these dark nougat. Maybe that's just regular nougat colored pieces. Not quite gold. It's a doorway. Got some other oddball colored pieces like these red pieces. Got a lot of gray stuff. Slopes and things. Studs on side things. Got some another one of these trans pink pieces. Large ones. We got some 1x1 brick trans pieces. We have one of our bad guys. I think he's one of the grunts. Comes with that trans pink backpack. Some trans pink swords, daggers, whatever they are. Another one of these clear parts. Gold chain. Bunch of purple parts. Some slopey rock piece things. We got tons of pins in here. Other pieces, we got trans pink in those little pyramid pieces. And some of these little rocket noses. I don't know what you want to call them. But there they are. Just the same. Alright, that, as I say, is that. Here we have the fourth bag. And we got some big plates, a lot of smaller plates, some small Technic bricks, and some big Technic rods in bright pink. I like those. Just something about seeing the transparent, you know, insides of the pieces. I mean, transparent pieces are always kind of cool for that. But those great big Technic pieces, just so cool to look at. So I have a black seaweed piece. Kind of interesting. A lot more of these half tiles. I used quite a few of them in this set. I like gunmetal gray in this set too. Dark colors. Dark, but then we have bright pink. And some purple as well. Yeah, we got more of these little diamond shaped, the pyramid shaped pieces. Trans pink. Got a little sword or crystal, whatever it's supposed to be. 1x1. A lot of other little scraggly pieces, and some more of these as well. I have these in white and yellow. Strange color considering the rest of this set. It's probably something internal, I imagine. Here we have our fifth bag. Not quite the last, but we're getting there. And we got some more large plates, like you see here. Some more smaller ones. A lot of plates in this, of course. It's terrain, you know. A tower, building. We also got these really big clear crystal pieces. So cool. Some nice arches, some smaller arches. A lot of slopes. Purple tile, a lot of small bits pieces. Only two more of these pyramid pieces, but what we do have is a lot of these in the trans purple pink color. Some of these 1x2s, stud pieces, and coals in here as well. Why, finally another Ninja. We got one more to go, I think. I lost track. But yeah, that's bag 5. We have here the last bag, the final bag. We got more of these crystal pieces. Got some crystal 1x2, or well, crystal. Transparent 1x2 bricks and 1x1 bricks. Got a bunch of these Nexo shields, those curved piece tiles. We have 2 lampposts, a bunch of clips and things, small plates, more of those weird studs on side pieces. Got a lot of little gold dots, only 1 gray dot, kind of strange. A bunch of these transparent pyramid pieces, gold blocks, more cones, a whole bunch of these small crystal pieces. We have the big head honcho bad guy, and a whole bunch of trans pink swords. Those are cool, just saying. Those are cool. Oh, and we have a purple straw hat. Yes. That is the last bag. Let's go finish this up. Here are the leftover parts from the set. And we have our obligatory brick separator. And we have a lot of leftover katanas, including the bright pink crystal one, which is really nice. I don't know if we'll see more of them in the other sets, but I hope so, especially extras. And we also have a whole bunch of extra gold pieces. Now, I used some of these, and it was a whole bag. And what I understand, all of these boxes have a bag full of them. So you'll have a lot of extras of these to arm your other characters or what have you. So that will be really nice. Here are all 4 ninjas from this set. We will be doing the villains afterwards. These costumes look great. It's such a fresh breath of air after the lack of detail with the core wave. And the problem with the core wave isn't that they didn't look nice. Yes, they didn't have a lack of detail, but it was kind of stylized that way. The worst problem was the villains were very detailed, so they looked very much out of place. I'm going to get to the 4+ set that's in this wave, and we'll take these ninjas and look at them next to the villains from there. Fortunately, those ninjas from the 4+ are the core ninjas and have the simplified appearance, but we will look at these with them when we get there. But there they are. They all have the same armor and weapons. Now, they're supposed to be getting new weapons throughout this set. Basically, it's adventure type thing where you role play and go through it and they get more weapons. But they start off with all the same armor piece, shoulder armor, and the basic sword. Let's take them all out, take off all their equipment, and see what they look like underneath. Here we have them all stripped down, and I really like that, like Jay and Kai here, for their arms, they use a darker color of their base color, and I mean, I think Cole and Zane have had similar color schemes with that, but I'm not sure. But they look good too. They look fine. I just don't think they look similar. They've done similar things before with them. Though I think Cole usually has orange arms, so the gray's kind of nice too. And yeah, let's look around the back. Oh, I'd like to mention that Kai here's got his band-aid over that eyebrow again. He should really get that looked at, because repeat injuries like that They could be very serious. Alright, here we have their backs and their nice friendly faces. Well, you know, except for Zane, but can't do anything about him. Oh, and yeah, the backs looks really nice, just like the fronts. I like they went with a smaller symbol on their backs. So a lot of times, you know, that takes up the most of the back, but here we get a little bit less of that and more patterning and stuff. Looks almost like they got a bit of some kind of chainmail going on there with all of them. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. I really like this waves. So I really like this wave period. Here are our bad guys for this set. We have a Vengestone Warrior and the Crystal King himself. Not much to say. I mean, these guys are really well detailed, just like the ninjas. I like the use of the different colors for the guard. I'm not sure why they went with the nougat with the Crystal King. You'd think he'd be pink like the rest of them, but I don't know. Maybe these guys are literally made from crystals. That's why they're like that. I like the head sculpt. It looks like it's almost something like Godzilla type head. And this headpiece is a separate headpiece. It's not covering a round head like they usually do. Which is interesting. And he uses one of these crystal blades for a weapon. Now, sadly enough, there were tons of these in here, but none of them were leftovers. So, kind of sucks. I was hoping for some to make weapons out of. But, yeah. Let's take off their armor once again and see what it looks like underneath. Here we have them stripped down of all their gear, sort of. You can see their detail much better. Before I talk about the Crystal King, let's look at their backs. Oh, look, the skeleton looked like that. That's really nice. Nothing on the top half, I don't know why. But that's really cool too. It's like it's got a crystalline structure on its back. That's cool. So awesome. Alright. Now this guy, this armor piece is part of the chest. So it doesn't necessarily cost. Come on, the second chest. We're going to pull that off so we can see the detail there. Yeah, that looks cool. See, that like skeletal appearance on the back wraps right around the front like it's a rib cage. It looks really cool. There's not too much of it on the top half, but if you wanted to just make him a single character, this version only have 2 arms or whatever. That torso is really cool looking. Oh yeah, he doesn't have a second face on the back, just more pattern. And this guy just took his head completely off, but they, like I said, this is a single head piece. It does not cover anything. We have everything put together here, looking good, looking real good. It's really nice aesthetic to the whole thing. Now this is actually 2 pieces. Of course, there's the little dragon here. Well, so we'll look at him maybe last. Because I got this on the stand right now. But this is actually 2 separate pieces. They're not connected, so you can move things around the way you want them. Maybe you want it like this, or you know. However, it is pretty freeform in that aspect. I'd like to think maybe it would go this way, and those stairs would lead up to the second floor here, or somehow you would get up there through that. So how you get to the very top, I don't know. But hey, they sprout wings in this season, so. But yeah, so Actually, we'll look at the little guy first, and then we will do a tour of both sets and or both sections and look at everything close. There is just something weird of note, I should say, is this weapon here that's stuck into this one 2x2 round tile with a peg on it, or with a hollow stud in it. That was assembled with one of the steps down here with this thing, and then put in as the one of the last steps. And it is very weird, and I don't know why they did it that way, but they did. Just an interesting thing to note. So yeah, let's take a closer look at that little guy, and then we'll have our grand tour. Here's our cute little baby dragon build. I don't know if it's supposed to be a dragon or what it is. Like I said, I haven't seen the show, and the bad guys don't have any other real dragons in this, although they look kind of draconic themselves. But he is really cute. He's very small, and he's actually quite a bit poseable, so you can put him in different poses, although he doesn't have a good standing pose or really feet to stand on. I mean, he's got legs and feet here, these little claws, but they're more like, I wish they had a place on here where he could perch. That would be better. There's one little area where he possibly could. No, I don't think he could. That's a rod. That's a Technic rod. He wouldn't be able to clip onto that. But yeah, I wish there was just a place where you could have him hanging somewhere around here or something. But he's really cute, and he's really super poseable because he's pretty much put together with like little rods and things like that, which those are easy to turn. Even though the core of the body, the wings are little pegs, the tail's all pegged. The only thing that's not are the legs, which are simply on one studs, which can rotate good enough too. But yeah, he's a cute little guy, made with a bunch of small little parts. Don't know what he represents, but he's definitely a fun little build. But not the main attraction. Let's start our tour here, and the lower section. We have a nice stairwell that's got two ways up here. See, our ninjas are on it. We got some shuriken here. New shuriken. A lot bigger than the old ones. We've got this sword up here that Zane is currently trying to get to. Well, maybe Kai would have been a better fit for there. But you got these pedestals that are supposed to move around and make it a little bit difficult for him to get up. It's got to be quite the balancing act, and on top of that you have to dodge the swinging crystal, which you have to swing yourself, but you know, it's a cute little trap thing to prevent people from easily getting the weapons. And moving up this way, we got this stairwell, and there's a little lever back here. Pull it, and boom, the stairs basically fall down. Oh, coal is actually blocking it from going all the way, but yeah. Goes out like that, and then the stairs, you fall down the stairs into the area below. Not really much down there, but that's that. Let's pull this guy off so you can see it. And up here we have these, I guess, nunchuck chain thing going on. That's another weapons reward. And if we look here, because this is kind of a hollow structure on the bottom, see the back side of it anyways, there's not too much going on here. There's the lever that you pull for the stairs. Boing, boing. It's a nice little feature. But it is a little bit hollow in there, but there's really not much you can do in there. I think it's tall enough for a minifigure to stand in there. But yeah, I get to see the back side of this a little bit better. Alright, let's push that aside. Move on to the actual main floating tower. It's floating on these pink beams, supposedly. And I really like the aesthetic going on here. Looks like it's torn from the ground. There's roots hanging and stuff like that, and looks like chunks of rock and stuff. Over here we have a crystal cage that is floating. I'm using quotations because it is held here by these chains. It's a really clever illusion, makes it look like it's floating when it's really not. I know some people are more mystified by this than others, including myself, but it's still a neat little thing and fun to add. And it opens up, so you can, put a prisoner in there and have them stand, and hopefully it doesn't accidentally open up. Well, you would think they would keep it locked, but if it opens up, you're gonna fall to your death. Although it's only one story, but and then in the middle here we have a golden scythe, which is another reward. And on top of that, it's hard to see here, but there are steps. There are steps built into this. They go up to right about there. Except there's quite a big gap there to there to there. But yeah, so I guess there are steps going up to the top, and up top here we have the king, the Crystal King, and I'm gonna pull him off just because I really love the design of this throne. Now there's supposed to be a sticker here. There's a couple other stickers that are supposed to just be like banners and stuff. They probably have some symbols that are relevant to the Ninjago universe that I'm not familiar with, but you know how I am with stickers. Love the ornamentation on top. We got the big crystals behind. Let's move this actually around so you can see the back side. Not that there's much here. Got more as that floating ground aesthetic. But we should check out all angles just the same. There's that top. Yeah, that's the set for the most part. Let's head back to the desk and give it my final thoughts and the final eval. Behold, I am the Crystal King. No, but really, sorry, this is the best I can do to get everything in the picture from here. But let's give this my final thoughts and a final eval. Well, like I said, this is probably going to be one of my least favorite sets out of this wave. Simply because there's no vehicles and dragons or other type of creatures, although we do have this little guy here who's really cute, but it's definitely not worth the whole set just for him. I was not disappointed with this set. There's a couple things that have me a little confused, like this doesn't quite feel finished. It looks finished. It looks really great. But something does not look right when you start looking close at it here. And, yeah. I mean, this is a great play area and very important to the story and stuff like that. And I appreciate it for that. I'm just not a super big fan without anything vehicular or robotic or anything like that going on, or critter-wise either. No dragons or chimeras or pegasi or anything. That's not saying it's a bad set. That's just my opinion and what I think about it. Now, let's get into the final eval. I'll get a little bit more into details with that. As I said, it looks really good, and appearance, as far as appearance goes, I'm going to give it a 9. And the only thing I'm keeping it from a 10 is on closer looking. It's like, I don't know what exactly is going on here at the very top of this little mini tower here. There looks like there's supposed to be more to this, and I really don't understand what's going on, and it feels unfinished. I mean, I understand the little brick and way, the tower, though I think this could work just a little bit better, and we'll talk about that with function. But as far as appearance, yeah, a 9. It looks really good from a distance and stuff like that. And even up close it doesn't, but just really on close inspection here, I'm not sure what we're supposed to be looking at the top of this tower. So, moving on to function. And here we go. Moving on to function. Now, there is some neat things going on here, like this. The floating jail cell over here. That's really cool. The, I don't know if it's a function, but, you know, it's supposed to be a floating tower, and it gives that interesting appearance, which, is that function or not? I don't know. And then we have the traps over here, which, I mean, this kind of is interesting, but it feels like they could have done more with it. Probably would have required quite a few pieces, but if you somehow could get these so they would, like, on gears down below, so this rotates, and you're sitting here rotating it with a flick of your finger here, and maybe even get this to move back and forth as well. This all has to be done manually. You know, this does, and it's kind of hard because you got multiple things going on at once that you're trying to make it do at the same time, and you only got 2 hands. Plus, you want to play with, the kids want to play with the figures or something like that while trying to do it, it doesn't quite work. While if you had like one hand that just spun one little knob and everything went into motion, they can play around with the Ninja with the other hand. And the similar concept goes on here, because, I mean, this is cool, the moving staircase, but this, I think, is supposed to, like, break down, but mostly it just stays in spot. Oops. And I knocked down the nunchucks. So some of the functions on these little traps and things going on here are kind of weak. And essentially, that's why I decided to give function a 9. Like, no, they could have easily done this on some kind of turntable stuff under below. They did something similar with one of the Jurassic Parks. That's it. This one would be maybe a little bit more complicated, but still could be a very similar premise. So, yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment. It probably would require more parts to get all this stuff to work, but it would function better. I mean, it looks good for a dungeon type crawler type thing where they're going after the treasure, but it just doesn't feel like it works appropriately. So moving on to fun. Well, the same thing kind of goes along with the fun with that. We also, this is kind of their base, right? I think. Like I said, I haven't seen the show. And we only have the Crystal King and one bad guy. And all 4 ninjas. It's nice that we have all 4 ninjas, but maybe just toss in one more guard? Just one more guard? I mean, I can understand you're going to want to play with this with your other sets, as the vehicles and things that I think are cool are going to come here. They're going to travel here in those to eventually fight, you know, the big dastardly Crystal King or whatnot, whatever the story is. So not having a vehicle is okay because you're gonna play with the others, and those other ones have more guards and things that can, bad guys that can go along with this. But standalone, this could use just at least one more bad guy. I mean, you could consider the little dragon guy on their side, since it's got their black and crystal pink color scheme. And yes, there's all these traps and things, but just one more character would have probably made this a little bit more balanced, even though we still would have more ninjas than we do bad guys, which is okay considering other aspects of the set. So that and these traps and things are kind of hard to play with. So I gave fun a 9. With traps, I would almost want to give it an 8, but there's some other fun stuff, just playing around with this trap and things. So there's some other things that counteract it. I'm talking about all the bad, but there's some good stuff here. There's still plenty of room to play. Definitely a play area. Looks a bit weird against my white board since everything's dark here, but you would want, you know, like a little dark area to play in. So, as far as technique, I ended up giving technique a 10 because there's some really neat techniques here in the design of this floating castle where they flip things around, move things around. The build of this is fairly neat. This over here doesn't quite have as much. I mean, there's some nice ways how they built the stairs and some of the terrain and stuff, but the fact that it doesn't quite work well, I don't know. There's a lot of good neat techniques in here as well. I think that kind of ended up balancing out. That when we add up all our scores, we get what do you say? I don't know, not doing 37. 37, yeah. We get a 37, divide by 4, and you get a 9.25, which we round up to a 9.5. So this is overall a decent set, and I could see that. It's still not my cup of tea with, you know, no vehicles or whatever. I'd still probably want it, because there's a lot of cool parts in here. There are a lot of cool new parts in here. But they exist in the other sets as well. So yeah, moving on to price. It was $79.99 and has 703 pieces. You divide that and you get 11 cents per piece, which is just slightly above standard, and it's a decent price. And considering this is a decent set, overall it got a G for good for, you know, price of the set, whether it's worth it. Now that worth can be different. Like I said, I didn't consider that this is probably one of the lesser sets I want, although that price is interesting. Like if it has been really expensive, I would definitely turn it down. Like if this was a dragon in the same price with the same number of parts, I would be more apt to buy it. If it was even a higher price, I would be more apt to buy it. So, you know, your miles may vary with this. If you liked the dungeon crawling RPG sets that they had 2 years ago now, something like that, which I have yet to put them together, this feels very much like those, or looks very much like those. Yeah, like I said, I haven't put them together yet. And the thing is, when I do put them together, I'm going to kind of like put this alongside with them. They don't quite match color scheme, but thematically they kind of do. But yeah, it's a similar set to like that. Let's see. Yeah. G for good. It's a decent set, fairly decent price, and that brings our final eval score to a 9.5 G, which I think is a pretty good score. Putting this up there quite a bit. I don't know. The other set's probably going to beat it out. Maybe. We'll see how they're, you know, appearance-wise, they all look great, but we'll see how well they are functioning and the design and stuff like that too. So yeah, this was definitely an interesting, fun set to put together. Yeah, I got to mention that when I was talking about fun, but it was fun to put together. I especially like the tower. With the way it's designed, like I don't know which way is up. You follow the instructions, you'll figure it out. But it's like I don't know what I'm doing here. which direction's up, which direction's down. But you'll get there. Just follow the instructions. So, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, of course. It would really help me out. And the comments will as well. And you don't just have to comment on this. You can comment on, Ninjago as a whole, this, whatever. Even a simple hello would help my YouTube channel. Because the more activity that's on it, the better YouTube tends to promote it. So yeah, give it a like and comment, and if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell for notifications when new videos are out. This is the first of this wave. We're going to be doing a whole bunch more coming up here. Probably get at least 2 more sets done this week. And yeah, so there's, I think, 9-10 sets or whatever. We'll probably aim to try to get at least 3 done a week, if not more. Probably 3. But yeah, so hit that notification button so you know when those other reviews come out. Also, follow me on either Facebook or Twitter, because you can still hit that notification button, but YouTube is not always up to date or sending out those notifications on time. Meanwhile, if you follow me on Facebook and Twitter, you will know immediately. Please hit that bell, though. That's just more affirmation that Facebook, or not Facebook, that YouTube is going to notice my channel. The more activity there is, so they won't notice activity from Facebook or Twitter. But you will actually get the notifications so you can watch it, which will also help me out. So that's it for me here, Creation Evaluation Station. Hoping you have a good day, and reminding you that creativity is key.